Islam, Islam, Islam. Praising Almighty God Allah for another live stream. We here with the Juice Lady, and we're going to talk about mental food. And, you know, it should be a great show tonight. So we hope everybody is watching and tuning in and everything like that. And praise Allah. So with all this snow and everything like that, it's, uh, we hope everybody's doing well. It's kind of cold on, where we are.
Right.
So, praise Allah. But we're going to start off with the Moorish American prayer, and we're going to do it on three. Well, we're going to do it on one. We're going to start off at three, and we're going to commence the prayer on one. Islam. Three, two, one.
Lord,
Lord, the Father of the universe,
the
the Father of love,
truth, peace, freedom,
and justice. Allah is my protector,
my guide, and my salvation. By night and by day, it was holy prophet. Throughout it.
Amen.
Islam.
Praise Allah. So, praise Allah. What you got for us? This time, Juice Lady. What you got for us?
Islam. Today I wanted to talk about positive mental diet. But first I wanted to give honor to Sheik Thompson Bay at 2900 Pressman yesterday on his parade.
Oh, okay. Praise
Wanted
Allah.
to be out, but I had a previous engagement, but I just wanted to give them honor. It looked like it was such a beautiful event. I was surprised at the marching bands. It just took me back in the day when it was Emerson West High Band. You would hear them practicing sometime around my way. So
okay.
That was a blessing to hear that. But today I just wanted to talk about positive mental diet today. I wanted to switch it up a little bit. A lot of times we talk about how we connected with food all the time, and it's not always connected to food. Is food, food, the word food, pretty much. I had looked it up tonight after our conversation earlier. And let me see where I put it at, because it was talking about carbohydrates and veggies, proteins, and stuff like that we consume. But it also speaks about as being something that nourishes, sustains, or supplies.
That's right.
That's what food is. And today I wanted to talk about positive mental diet. So I'm gonna just start off talking about what is positive mental diet. And I put a diet that consists of positive personal mental reinforcement through daily practice, exercise, habits, and actions that feed the mind with positive intentions, motivation to create a positive mental environment.
That's right.
So, it's what you was going to say, Sheik?
When you when you look at food, like you said, it's not only what you put in your body, it's the things that you read, the music you listen to, TV shows that you watch. And a lot of people, they don't understand that, that's also the types of food. And, you can't garbage in, garbage out. You talked about colon health, right?
Right.
I'm a hip hop fan, but a certain hip hop, I'm just not.
Right.
I'm not going to really listen to it.
I would say, it's like, yes.
Yeah,
even though you like the artist, but it's just certain lyrics that you just like, wait a minute, like it totally goes against your vibration for
Yeah,
real.
it can. Yeah, indeed.
Yes. So
Crazy.
positive mental diet is pretty much giving you lifting up your vibration. You know, a lot of us before we got on the journey of enlightenment, we was functioning from a low vibration. You know, and that low vibration pretty much got us to the end of where we were before we started walking the path of enlightenment.
That's right.
So when you get on the path of enlightenment, there's a mindset that's connected with that as well, and is connected to high vibrations. And not saying that we don't have issues and things that we go through on a daily basis. Not saying that we're not affected by a lot of the things that we go through, but like in the Moore Science Temple, we say you make a speedy recovery, because at the end of the day, everything is connected to your thoughts.
That's right.
And it's like a lot of us really don't grasp that. I think we say it because we hear people say it, but it really is. And I can witness to it as from the position of being a business owner, because a mental diet is a daily regimen that you have to keep intact for your business to function, because you are in control of yours. You know, I've been on both sides of the fence. You know, I worked for institutions, and I'm on this side, and I'm a business owner. And it's like my mind when I was working for institutions was more low vibrational, because I wasn't pushing myself to come out of my shell to create, because I didn't understand that our thoughts really, really, truly create. If you listen to a lot of the millionaires, a lot of them, yes, they are rich financially, but when you talk to them, or you have take a class or a course with them, or read some of their books, they talk about their spiritual self, their inner self, because you have to change the way you look at life. So, and that brings me to my next question: what does a positive mental environment consist of, or what does it look like?
That's right.
These are a few examples. Everybody's mental environment is going to look different. Their positivity is going to look different, because everybody have a different way of doing things. But this is just pretty much different things that you can do to create that environment, which would be like meditation, mindfulness or conscious living, self-care, which a lot of us, really don't do, habits, positive intentions, affirmations. You can also use frequency music, because first of all, when we hear off of frequency. So that's why today in this world that we in, the music can affect the younger generation, because number one, when you're young, a lot of times your vibration is low. I mean, that's just what it is, So if you are fed low vibrational things and your vibration is low, you get a result. So if you do frequency music, which is the same sound as the universe, and you hear that in your ears when you go to sleep at night, or throughout the day in your car, you driving, your whole it's little steps at a time, just like with a diet, it's small steps at a time, but you will start to see the difference.
Yeah, because one night, right, I just happened to I was listening to Surah 3 of the Holy Quran of the Moorish, not the Moorish Science Temple, but the Holy Quran of Mecca. And it's a lengthy chapter. So it was in Arabic, and they say it in English. And man, that night I listened to that, like I listened, and I know how long it is, and I probably was resting for at least probably about 10 minutes. And when I woke up, the surah was still going, and I was like, dang, I said, I'm probably in Surah 4 now. And
right.
I was like, I looked and I was still in Surah 3, but that rest that I got within that 10 minutes, it was like it was such a deep rest. So, that, and like you said, frequency music and things of this nature, once we tap into that side, and it's it's indicative and it's a reflection of, and you know, I always like to point out the culture of our organization. You know, before we became members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, we could look at the history, we could see some of the things that occurred or whatever the case may be. And now you and I, we were not born during that particular time.
Right.
But now we find ourselves still affected by some of the things that occurred during the time that we weren't even thought about.
Right.
So
right.
now you have these particular individuals around, and if they would but focus on, you know, sometimes things is about a lot of drama. You know, and we talked about soap opera shows, other shows that are like soap operas, you know.
Right.
Yeah, if they were focusing on, you know, the proper mental diet, then some of the things that occur would not occur, you know, because that mental energy would be focused in a different direction. And you know, that's just an example of, you know, what we do see manifesting in certain people in certain areas. It's the lack of a proper mental diet, you know.
Right. And that also take us back to, you know, being called black and Negro.
Okay,
you
yeah,
know?
absolutely.
Like that's low vibrational. You know? So if you constantly saying this same word, like we say words carry spirits.
That's right.
You know, and black means death.
That's right.
So it's like when you constantly saying something over and over and you're talking about yourself, you bringing it down, you taking yourself into a vibration where when change come on board, it looks crazy, or it's out of your comfort zone. So that's not something that you would do. But a lot of times the things that you should do is that's taking you out your comfort zone, or the things that take you to the next level, you know, and whatever, you know, dealing that you have at that particular time. So like I was saying, everybody's mental environment don't look the same. It's not the same. So we just want to keep in mind to, you know, have habits that enhance growth and development within, because we are individual people. You know, regardless, we still are individuals. It can look different for different people, but these are just examples of different practices that will create, like I said, will create a positive mental environment. So I'm using the word environment. And a lot of times we use the word environment, we're talking about a space that we're in, or you know, environment. It could be anything, your home environment, your career environment. But I'm talking about our mind is an environment as well.
Right. Absolutely.
Because it's a space where life happens. Like it's a space where creation is taking place. You know, even though a lot of us, we do know, but a lot of us haven't figured it out yet.
That's right.
But it is a place where creation continuously happens on a daily basis. So health is not always just connected with the food we consume. If, like I was talking about earlier, if we look up the word food, it does mention or make reference to fats, carbs, veggies, proteins that we consume by mouth. But it also speaks about food as being something that nourishes, sustains, or supplies. So a positive mental diet in this situation will look like, all right, first, we need it because it nourishes us, knowing we are spirits, but we are also in human form.
That's right.
And for us to thrive, we need nourishment, just like food. We need nourishment, you know, and this particular nourishment is considered self-care, holding space for yourself.
That's right.
Number two, it will also sustain or hold us down, and in the new age words, hold us down. You know, we go through much here. So these practices can assist with sustaining us to keep us focused on our goals, on our journeys, and keeping us in a positive mindset, because we are always creating.
Praise the Lord. And that ties in, it ties right in when it asks us, what is our religion? and then it
Right.
says Islamism.
Right.
And Islamism is a complete way of life encompassing all aspects of life. And it is a practice, and it takes a mental focus in order for one to be able to practice. And then it should reflect in your environment, right?
Right.
And one of the things, since we're talking about a mental diet, right?
Mm.
We have to collaborate, not only with one another in each temple, or in our respective temples,
Right.
but because we have some very fundamental things that we have to abide by when it comes down to the divine constitution and bylaws.
Mm.
I just want to put out the recipe, right? And I demonstrated this recipe a couple of different times, but it's about teamwork and it's about for success, right?
Okay.
And this is one thing that we can revisit each day for ourselves, in whatever profession that we do, especially if we're working with people, but especially
Mm.
for working in a temple environment. So, today's or just for 2021 and beyond, I sound like Buzz Lightyear and beyond.
Beyond.
The recipe for teamwork success we need from each Moorish American, right? Or people who are sympathizers, well wishers for the Moorish Science Temple of America. We need 1 gallon of trust, right? We need 2 quarts of commitment, 5 pints of effective communication, 4 cups of collaboration, 2 teaspoons of innovation and creativity. And when we talking about innovation and creativity, we ain't talking about bringing no foreign doctrines or teachings into. We talking about like you just said, using your mind to create, whether it's something positive for the Moorish Science Temple.
Right. Right.
And 2 teaspoons of conflict resolution.
Mm.
And that's so important because we can't change what has happened. And I'm not saying that the history of 1926, 25 and all that is not important. However, what I am saying is that we can't really do a lot about it. But what we can do is we can examine it and we can try to make the corrections and move forward from this point. Why do we got to keep harping and browbeating on what didn't happen or what? You understand where I'm coming from? It's like what you call a rocking chair syndrome. Where the rocking chair, when you examine the rocking chair syndrome, it's like you want to correct a problem, but you continuing to focus on that same problem. And it's like you in a rocking chair. It seems like you're going somewhere, but you just sitting there in the same place and you rocking.
Right. Until you make a move.
Until you make a move. So, we have to get out of that, that rocking chair syndrome, so to speak. So, praise the Lord.
And that pretty much go into food. To be honest, it's like I had posted something on the page the other day, and it was a family on there eating like a whole bunch of unhealthy food, and it was saying disease running our family because our family ate unhealthy or whatever. It was something else, but I was saying let's change the narrative to my family has optimal health because we eat healthy and take care of ourselves.
That's right.
It's like stay in the rocking chair syndrome and still have disease and sickness, or make a move and change and create something else. Create better, because we have to be we have to create, and like you said, innovative. We have to be innovative.
That's right.
Because we're going into a new time. We have to be innovative and keep up with the times, because in this day and time, a lot of us are sick. A lot of us are depressed. A lot of us are walking around acting like we strong and we not.
That's right.
So it's like we have to take care of ourselves, regardless of if you're a light worker, a service worker, anybody that's working with their hands or using energy to exchange, you need to take care of yourself.
And that includes mind work, because
right.
what I do during the day, You know,
Oh yeah, mind work.
it's a
Yes.
lot of mind. You know, I'm I'm constantly looking at numbers. I'm constantly reading stuff,
Mhm.
and afterwards, you know, sometimes I'm zonked. You know,
Right.
and I have to take that time, like you said. You know, like that self. People don't understand how important self care is. You know,
Very,
because
very
you
important.
constantly giving, and then
Mhm.
you never really replenishing what you have given out, you know.
Right.
So um, you know, like we got massages. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So that was like self-care, you know,
Mhm.
eating the
Take
right.
yeah, because you take we hold so much on our like we don't realize energy work. Like when you get Reiki done, Reiki
Hmm.
healing done, these healers are moving energy around in your body.
Hmm.
Number one, Reiki or massage. I'm gonna put massage too because they do
Okay.
the same thing. They moving energy around in your body with their energy, okay, which they have to have a positive mental diet because they continuously daily moving
Absolutely.
energy. So when you realize at the end, they always brush down,
Hmm.
brush that because they moving the energy off you because
Hmm.
when you daily we get bogged down physically, but in the spirit world, our shoulders are like
Yeah.
damn, like we have a lot on us, and it comes out as back aches. It comes out as like
Hmm.
tight neck. You know, I'm telling you, I deal with it. So it's
Hmm.
like these are things that I go through, and I had to learn what was going on. It's not just about what's physically going on. It's
Yeah.
spiritual stuff going on too.
Yeah, like check this. Check. I meant to ask you. So is Reiki healing the same thing as shamanic or shamanic healing,
I don't know.
or
I
that
haven't
two
really
different two different?
followed. I never followed shamanic healing.
Okay.
It might be. I don't know. I can look it up and see. But Reiki pretty much is they're reading your energy field and
Hmm.
your body speaks as well. I'm gonna go into that
Hmm.
too in another lesson.
Hmm.
Um, your body speaks, like we just said, it comes out as back aches and leg aches, headaches and stuff. That's your body talking to you. A
Right.
lot of people be running to get Tylenol. It's
Right.
not that. Like sometimes you might be dehydrated, or you might just need to lay down and just breathe. Take some breaths. We
And
know Allah is the holy breath.
mhm.
Breathe them in.
And you know what I get in trouble a lot. Well, I get in trouble a lot. And what I mean by that is sometimes, you know, when there are people that I talk to in reference to Moorish issues. You understand what I'm saying? And I say a lot, well, listen for understanding. And they get upset with me because I'm like, you're not listening, you're not listening to what I'm saying. Listen for understanding. And I get in trouble a lot for that. You know what I'm saying? But that's that, you know, that's a part of what you're speaking about, that energy that's a part of our energy field, and that's not allowing us to really hear what's going on. And I experience not listening as well sometimes. You see what I'm saying? Because we got that point that we trying to make, and we really not listening for understanding to be we want to respond.
Mm-hmm.
And as opposed to responding, we got to be able to listen and understand what's being said. And then, you know, we may not have to respond in a sense, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So these are all the things that we see. I mean, not only we see it in our communities, you know, on a daily basis. That's why so much killing is prevalent, and you know, and the things that we see on the news, because people don't really understand what energy they dealing with, and you
Mm-hmm.
know, their spirits is not right, and on top of that, they not eating right, you know.
Right.
So
You're right. That
um,
is so true about listening for understanding instead of listening to respond. Like
mhm,
that's one thing about the temple that it has taught. It teaches you to listen to a person's thought.
mhm,
Keep your mouth shut and just listen.
mhm,
And the thing is, you will really understand where a person is coming from when you do that
mhm,
instead of trying to hurry up.
Mm-hmm.
Try, you ain't listening. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You focusing on what this person is saying and
Mm-hmm.
how they're saying it instead of listening to what they're actually saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times, yes, I remember I heard you say that once. Actually, I think you was talking to me, and I was like, "What? What did
Mm-hmm.
you mean?" You know what I mean? But really, when you think about it, it's not rude. It's just saying, listen for understanding. Like, let me get
Mm-hmm.
my thought out. Don't listen to respond because you're gonna miss the point. If it
Mm-hmm.
makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna get back in. The third final thing that having a positive mental diet will give us is finally it supplies us with what we need to keep our batteries charged. I know for me, meditation and prayer is a daily activity I practice for myself. These practices nourish, sustain, and supply me with the energy and the motivation, as well as listening to my creative self. Because again, having a business, you have to stay up on the
Mm-hmm.
creativity. You know what I mean? Because that sometimes it fades, and then if that fade, you still have customers and stuff like that. So you want to always be innovative in any situation. Even if you have a job, you always want to be willing to innovate yourself to be better. That's why we take promotions.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we move different jobs, because we reflect who we are. You know what I mean? And it's like if you at a place where you're not happy,
Mm-hmm.
obviously inside of you is saying it's time to move on.
That's right.
A lot of times we look at life external, and it's really spiritual. We spiritual beings. So we spiritual beings, that's another realm that we have ahead to allow us to get where we got to go.
That's right.
So, um many times being caretakers, light workers, service providers, we focus on others and forget about ourselves. We have to keep in mind our journey, even though we are all connected, it's connected to everybody, majority of the people that are in our circle is connected to others. But solely, this journey is about my and yours and whoever else is listening, your individual growth and development. So we have to build ourselves up because we can't pour from empty cups. So keeping that in mind too, you know what I mean? We still are individuals, and this individual body has a digestive system, it has a
Mm-hmm.
brain, it has pituitary glands and pineal glands, all types of stuff. And how are we going to function if we not in our right mind? So a positive mental diet is important because what we are on the inside reflects on the outside. And
Mm-hmm.
when cleaning ourselves up, we want to reflect positive so we can receive positive.
That's right.
For example, healthy, harmonious, positive relationships, dealings, ministry, experiences, careers, and whatever else that's connected with you. That's just examples.
Mm-hmm. Praise the Lord.
So, did we have any questions or?
I didn't see any questions come in yet. Uh, but if we do have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat.
Okay.
Also, we have a number that people can call in to as well. And that number is 443 808 1198. If people want to call in and ask questions. Um, but that's we really want people to, if you're listening now or if you come back and listen later, we just really want people to kind of take in what it is that we're saying, because not only you and I, but there are so many people who want the culture of the organization to change. And in order to do that, we have to focus, on uh, our positive mental attitude, you know, positive. Because if not, then like we said, there are many different syndromes,
Right.
the king baby or queen baby syndrome, and people can look this stuff up to see if it's real. I mean, you can look it up. We talking about the rocking chair syndrome, so these are traits that people exhibit, and as a result of not having that positive mental attitude, you see. So
So how
praise the
can
Lord.
we start creating this lifestyle? So I just put a few things down that might can jar some creativity
Mhm.
and people. How can we create this lifestyle? First, a good number one would be taking harmful processed products out of our diets.
Okay.
That's really start getting into. I mean, years and years and years we eat the same way. Let's do something different. Let's just try something different
Hmm.
because give it a chance. That's where the world is going into right now. Do you understand how large the health field is right now?
Hmm.
Like the health and mental health and wellness field is like skyrocketing right now
Hmm.
because number one, people are going through stress. Okay, people who haven't been working, people, we got the virus going around,
Hmm.
you got older people that stressed out because they scared to come outside the house,
Hmm.
and things like that. But taking these things out of our diet will assist. It really will assist and cleansing our bodies out
That's right.
and replacing them with just better options because you always got to give to get. You can't take away and don't give something.
That's right.
So take it out and just replace it. Like it. Number two, toxic food. Okay, toxic food because toxic food produce toxic thoughts,
Hmm.
and we know life food creates living thoughts, which both creates experiences. So that goes to tell you again, thoughts are really the cause of it all.
That's right.
Changing our perspective from physical to spiritual, every experience, and put in our mind and really meditate on this honesty, because I do all the time. Every experience works for us, not against us.
That's
Is
right.
that a call coming in?
No, I thought it was. I think somebody just was calling me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a call. Someone was calling me.
Oh, I was going to
Yeah.
get excited, but
Well, let me say this number again: 443-808-1198. You know,
yeah, y'all can call
you
in
can
just to
call in.
give your thoughts on this. I'm not about telling people this because that's not who I am.
Hold on, that's still
What is ringing on your
brother.
computer?
No, this is brother Ronald, brother Ronald Bay. I'm gonna have to hold on one second. Islam, brother Ronald. Oh, could you give me a minute, brother Ronald? I'm gonna call you right back. I'm in the middle of a show. I'll call you right back as soon as I'm done. Praise the Lord. Bro, uh, brother Ronald, A-Bay from the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. Yeah, him and I, we usually talk once a week or so.
Right.
I haven't spoken to him this weekend, so he called me. He called me a couple times. So praise the Lord. I
Yeah.
apologize for the
No, all
interruption.
is well.
Because I
All
thought
is
it was
well.
somebody calling in too
Me too. I was
and then
like,
I
for
saw the
real.
name. Yeah.
All right, so changing our perspective from physical to spiritual, knowing that every experience works for us, not against us.
That's right.
When we suffer on the outside, I know it hurt sometimes. It really do,
Hmm.
and we go through some things. I know I do,
Hmm.
but we got to know that it's always a lesson going on. It ain't personal. I was reading this book called what was that book? The Four
The four
Agreements.
agreements.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it was one agreement was don't take it personal. It's not
Hmm.
personal.
Hmm.
And it's really not. Like we are here to learn lessons and go through things to push us forward, So yes, we gotta go through some things here. But Allah blessed us with healers here,
That's right.
so and he blessed us with things that can help our road be a little bit smooth. It ain't gonna be easy, but it'll be a little bit smooth. So
Right.
we should just try to, try some of these things.
That's right.
All right. So keeping the law on the forefront, which is or the God of your understanding, because I know a lot of Moors it's not all Moors that's watching.
That's
So
right.
keeping the law or the God of your understanding at the forefront and center, not worrying about what others think, and being gentle and honest with yourself.
That's right.
So,
And that's a blessing, right? Because look, when I first came into the Moorish Science Temple of America, I was a little radical, and what I mean by that,
that's Sagittarius.
Yeah, well, yeah, and right, I belong initially. I I was a part of an organization. I went through an African rite of passage, and it wasn't a radical situation. It taught me a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
It taught me a lot. It helped me ground myself, but also I was in like the beginning aspects of college. I really didn't know exactly what I wanted to do in life.
Mm-hmm.
College was something I kind of like fell into. Nobody ever pushed me to do it or anything like that. It was just something that I fell into. So in the process of that, I ran into, and this is my journey and how I was led to the Moorish Science Temple. I found out about the Nation of Gods and Earths. And, they have a group of lessons that's called 120. And I was studying it. And, it was some good brothers and some good sisters, but I really didn't have a lot of guidance. I was like left alone to kind of really study on my own. Then I was working at a bookstore, running into a lot of conscious people or so-called conscious people and things of this nature. So when I found out about the Moorish Science Temple of America, I came in and I'm like, I can change. I'm thinking, I felt like I could actually literally change the world. And not saying that I can't, but I had to come into the realization that I could first had to change myself.
Right.
And then once I changed myself, then I could start with helping other people. But it wasn't going to be, it's only one person at a time that we can actually help.
Right.
And, I've been in the temple now for, I think, going on 23 years. Right. Mm-hmm. And I look and I see people demonstrating, oh, well, this person ain't teach that or this person ain't teaching that. But the fact of the matter is that when you really look at it, if the person who's pointing a finger at the person who's there saying is not doing, if we really individually had the power to change the things that we say that we're not, or this person is not changing, then Allah would actually have us do what it is that we're saying that the other person is not doing, if that makes sense. Right. We only have, our powers don't extend beyond the great God Allah. We can only do what we can do and make a difference at the time that we are able to make the difference. And if it's positive, I'm not going to tell a person, I'm going to try to seek to understand what that person is demonstrating. And, if it's positive and it's a helping us move forward and perpetuating us forward as an organization, then I'm with it. Now, vice versa. If it's negative, then clearly I'll be able to see that it's negative, and clearly I'll be able to have a time and be able to have or hold a conversation with the person that's demonstrating that negativity,
right,
and kind of bring it to their attention if I possibly can. But it's just really time to change the narrative. Like I saw you wear, I think I saw you wear a T-shirt, generational curse breaker or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's real important to where we need to go at this point in time, because we can't spend a lot of time focusing on what hasn't been done or what this person ain't do. Mm-hmm. Because before you know it, we be in our 60s and 70s
saying the same thing.
Same thing.
Rocking in a rocking chair.
And the rocking chair syndrome. Listen, everybody, if when I I was having a conversation with someone that's near and dear to my heart. Elder brother. We was at she Jornell and I went to a cultural dinner, right? And it was like a community cultural dinner, different people from many different faiths. And the brother, we was sitting and we were talking, and he mentioned it, and I said, okay, I said the rocking chair syndrome. So I said, all right, I knew he mentioned it because he wanted me to investigate it. And when I went and investigated it, I was like, oh wow. And then I was like, okay. And then I was reading something and it talked about the king baby and queen baby syndrome. And you have a lot of people who suffer from these syndromes, and I'm just mentioning them because we really, the prophet says know thyself. And in doing that, we should study some of the behaviors of ourselves, so that we can change this narrative. So praise the Lord.
And also having a positive mind, it keeps you youthful. It really do. It keeps you in the mind of a child. Like even though you're an adult, it keeps you in the mind of a child because number one, a child is always in awe of new things. You know, so I'm in awe of what Allah do on a daily basis. Coming into this type of thinking, I even look at animals different. You know, my dogs. I mean, I have a dog. They are living beings. And when you put your hand on that heart is beating. So it's like it gives you the awe and the wonder of what's going on around you. You start seeing things that you wasn't even looking for, and it'd be a blessing to you.
Like what you're thinking about,
right?
Like that.
Just like
how can they understand different languages?
Right.
I
it is
think
amazing
about that kind of stuff.
It is. I'm telling you, even when we go skate, like that first time not first time. We went out Upperco, skating or whatever, and just my personal journey, just being vulnerable real quick. But when I was on the rentals, I was like, no, I ain't skating. That's how the adversary worked, and something had me look over at the skate area that they sell skates and parts and stuff. And I seen these white skates. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna go see how much they cost or whatever. So coming to find out they fit good on my feet. But when I was skating, I'm just chilling out, listening to the music, skating or whatever. A tear rolled out my eye. This is how Allah worked to show you that you're doing the right thing. A tear came out my eye, and I was like, why am I crying? Like, and it just popped back in my head that my father used to take me skating all the time, and it made me remember some things that I had pushed to the side because of daily life, so it keeps you playful, it keeps you young, it keeps you just wanting better all the time, and you don't even look at people in a negative way. You want them to have good just like you got good, so closing out. Well, what you was going to say?
No, because like initially when I found that place, before then I think we went to another skating ring, right? And I watched this documentary, and they were talking about how around the country they was closing down all Asiatic skating rings, and coming up here in Baltimore, where I learned how to skate was shake and bake.
Right.
I fell and then basically I hadn't been skating in years, and I said, all right. So I brought those skates, and when I found that place, well, first we went to another place, and children was like, "What's the music? What's the music going to be?"
Right.
And so I said, we're gonna have to deal with it because and when they asked that question, it reminded me of what they were talking about on the documentary. And then we went out to Upperco, and they asked me the same thing. They were like, "Well, what's the music going to be like?" And I said, "Well, we'll know when we get there." And even though it wasn't up to date,
right?
like,
but
but
I'm telling you.
70s and some 80s and a little bit of hip hop here and there.
Listen,
But it's a fun time. And then
right.
I looked at this sign too, and it talks about how many calories you burn when you skate, right? And you burn like, I think it's like 200 calories.
Wow.
Just for an hour of skating, if I'm not mistaken. It might be a little less time, but it's like quite a few calories that you burn. But I mean, you find out and you tap into things, because I forgot certain things about skating. But
Right.
yeah, you should have fun and do little things that you normally wouldn't do.
Right.
So praise the
So
Lord.
in closing, I'm gonna read out of this book I got today. It's called
Okay.
Becoming Younger, and it's just a quick little excerpt. It say, in order to become younger, well, by Norman Walker. In order to become younger, many of one's habits must change. To do this constructively, one can do it only with an open mind and with the wholehearted desire to see if it really works. A closed mind working against the tide of mental reservations, a mind which has made it a practice to frown on radical changes in thought, habits, and actions, is the greatest stumbling block toward any progress on the road to becoming younger. So, I just felt that fit this what we talking about. So all I say is, like I say every 2 weeks, be gentle with yourself. Take it one step at a time. Don't go out trying to do all these meditations and just whatever resonate with you, because whatever step we make, Allah always come in and do the rest. So with that,
praise Allah. So we want people to Sheikh Jonah and I said, when we do, the Thursday segment, we more sense media is about giving people quality information that can help them, change their life, because more science means more sense and more insight into life. And if you practicing more science or studying it and you haven't changed your life, and whether it's 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, whatever, and your life has not changed, it's in the same place when you first came into the Moore Science Temple.
Something wrong.
It's not the Moore Science Temple of America that teachings is wrong. It's something that you're doing wrong and maybe not implementing the teaching, because that's just, what that is. So don't blame Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Don't blame Allah. Don't blame, the teachings. Take an objective look at yourself and, make the, like you said, a speedy reparation and make the adjustments to, move forward. So, praise Allah.
Thank you all for watching.
Thank
Whoever is
you.
watching, thank you all so much for your support. I'm just here trying to assist. That's it. It's long.
Yeah, praise Allah. So, we'll be coming to you every other Monday, and I'm gonna put the number out there so people can call in, during our show, which is 443-808-1198. And just keep tuning in, keep watching, and spread the word. And we communicate, we don't debate, so that's what we doing, and that's what we'll continue to do, because that's what Allah will have us to do. So praise Allah. We're gonna close out in the Moorish American prayer, and I'm gonna count from 3 and down to 1.
Islam.
3, 2, 1.
Allah,
the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my God, and my salvation, by night and by day.
through his holy prophet.
True.
Amen.
Praise
It's
Allah.
everyone. See you next time. Praise Allah.
Praise Allah.